Janet starts off this hour in Pittsburgh. Hey, Janet, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Better than you deserve. I know it. I've been listening to you and following since the 90s, but
Wow.
went through Financial Peace. Yeah. Back in 2009 and again in 2012, when I was living with my husband, we paid off $167,000 in debt that got right back in. I separated from him 16 months ago, got a restraining order, and the kids and I have been living on our own since then. I have 2 at home out of 6.
Wow.
The other 4 are grown up. So I'm 56. I earn, including child support, about $57,500 a year. I have 2 jobs. One is I work for a person with autism as an aide, and another one is I work in an emotional support therapeutic classroom as a paraprofessional. The second job I'm not crazy about. There's a lot of danger there, and I'm getting older. So I paid off my last debt, my car, on Thursday of last week.
Way to go.
Yes, and so I'm debt-free.
Yay.
And then I took the rest of the money from the settlement from the house that we sold during this huge market boom. We sold the marital residence, and I put the rest and funded my baby step 3.
Good.
So I feel like I took 2 huge steps, and I don't know quite what to do. There's still some money left over. I'm putting it in a fund to save up for a down payment for a house.
Perfect.
I'd like to move from Pittsburgh and move back home. Or
Perfect.
someplace where they have fantastic jobs like you guys do,
Okay.
where you don't have to worry about a kid carrying a switchblade into school,
I got you.
you know?
Well, that's pretty well anywhere these days, but yeah. Okay.
So I'm done with funding college and all of that. That's, my daughter's probably going to go into the Air Force. We don't have to worry about that. My son that lives with me pays rent. And I'm trying to figure out, have everything budgeted. I just want to figure out how to do this house thing right without screwing it up, because I'm going to be going back into debt. And I just got out of debt. So I want to do it. I'm thinking maybe a $50,000 house, maybe 80 at the very
Where is
absolute
home that you're
limit.
talking about moving to?
Oh, Erie, Pennsylvania.
All right. And
Very Erie's a mistake on the lake.
and can you buy a house for $50,000 in Erie, Pennsylvania?
You still can, but the problem is, the challenging thing is the employment market.
Okay. All right.
That's the thing. Now, my one job will go with me. But my other job, that's $23,000 worth of income that I have to replace. Really, with what I do,
So
that's not hard.
who is
to
in
find
Erie?
something better than that. I have family there, but mostly it's the familiarity. It's, I could go pretty much anywhere.
That's what I was
but
thinking.
I don't have another landing pad.
That's what I was thinking.
I have a girlfriend who lives down in North Carolina, but the rate of living there is so expensive. And I don't think that my second job would transfer down there.
If the job situation...
I'm an aide working for my son, and that's funded in Pennsylvania. So I'm golden in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Janet, what I was going to ask you really quickly is, if the Erie job situation was just a snap, it was already taken care of, would that be your favorite place of all the places you could go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So how much extra money, if we remove the second job where you're in the classroom, is essentially a parapro, how much money do we need to replace on that particular job? How much?
$23,000.
Okay.
I could drive a bus.
Yeah.
And make more than that.
There's a lot you could do.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, and
The thing that gives me summers off with my son. I have a 21-year-old son with autism.
Gotcha. So ideally, you want the summers off. So what could you do?
Well, yeah.
Well, that's ideal, correct? All right, so here's what I'm trying to walk you through. I want you to have an ideal list, okay? So ideally, if I could get a job in the school system that's not as scary as the parapro in these classrooms with some of these kids, that's ideal. But then we say, okay, let's look for what's there. Let's just not assume that it's a horrible job market in Erie, the mistake by the lake. It's what you called it. You've kind of poo-pooed the whole area. So let's see what's there that's
I know,
ideal.
But that's...
Yeah, I know. And so let's look at ideal, and then we look at, okay, what could I do that would still give me a life and my 21-year-old son? I'm going to work 40 hours and make really good money. I can make more than 23. And I think you've got to ask yourself, what can I do well? Let's just start with the tools. We look at talent here at Ramsey Solutions as a tool that I can use to do work that I enjoy. So start with, hey, I'm really organized. I'm really good with people. You need to just do a quick assessment. And I want you to go to kencoleman.com and get the Career Clarity Guide. It's a simple little worksheet. It allows you to get feedback from people who know you really well so you can get some confidence on this. But just begin to identify another day job that you can do well, that's in a better environment, and now you're there with family, you're saving up, and you're getting that house a lot quicker than you realize. But don't assume that something's not there until you dig into it. Because I think there's a lot of work in the area that she can do, Dave, and make more than 23.
Yeah, continue to save on your baby step 3B for a down payment on a house. When you move to the area, you do not have to buy a house immediately. You can rent for a little while. And let's get all these career boxes checked, and your income and even support boxes checked. And maybe North Carolina is there.
That's right.
I will tell you there are sections of North Carolina that are less expensive than Erie, Pennsylvania. So your set of assumptions there is just not accurate. Mm-hmm. So you've assumed that everything in Erie is bleak and horrible, including prices on houses, and that everything in North Carolina is the land of, plenty and expensive. And it's neither one of those is completely true. There are some good spots that you can pick in Erie and land in, and some good jobs that you can pick there. And the same would be true of North Carolina. And so these blanket statements. Now, I do think the reason you're wanting to go to Erie and want familiar is after going through this divorce and all this pain, you want a familiar place to heal. And I'm perfectly okay with that idea. That's fine. The familiarity part of your statement was absolutely truth. That was very good. So, begin to find something, make a move. There is nothing if you go rent and get a job, there's nothing to say that you don't find a better job in a different place later and move again. None of this none of these are forever decisions. So you got to get on a path here that gets you, heading in a direction of a career and a house. And those are not incongruent with where you are. I think you can get there. I really do. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. When you're faced with a set of decisions like that, Ken, we teach decision making in one of the leadership things in EntreLeadership. There's a couple of things that when you get emotional, whether you're wounded, angry, whether you're hurt, whatever emotion you want to put out there, you shut down your peripheral vision and you fail to see as many options for the way around something. You get tunnel vision. And options, the more options you have when you're making any decision, the better likelihood you're going to make the right decision. When you start saying absolutes like there's no jobs there, or that area is just always expensive, these are absolute statements that are inaccurate, and that's coming out of your pain.